afternoon. Kenny Lofton striding toward home plate, and once again with the play-by-play story, Pete Van Wieren.
Okay, thank you, Chip. Kenny Lofton, who spent this year at Tucson, where he hit .308, drove in 50, stole 40 bases, and is coming up to Houston, batting an even .200. He's a left-hand batter, former basketball, baseball star in both sports at the University of Arizona. And the first pitch of the afternoon on the way from John Smoltz. Fastball strike in the outside corner. You're going to hear roars with every pitch this afternoon. Infield guarding against a bunt with Pendleton in at third, Bream in at first. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Lofton. Taken high for a ball. We'll keep you updated all afternoon on the Dodger-Giants game. It's just getting underway. Mike Morgan against Trevor Wilson. Now the wind again by Smoltz, and the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball. It's 1-2.
And Pete, it seems that it's the first time in a long time that the Dodgers won't know what the Braves have done before they played. So that, I think, will really help the Braves today.
This is going to be fun. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Here's the line by Smoltz. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Low and inside. And the count even 2-2. Charlie Williams, the plate umpire this afternoon. A beautiful day it's turned out to be after a not-so-good forecast last night about today. It was supposed to have a 60% chance of rain. It's now just a 30% chance. And we've got sunshine as the game begins. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Kenny Lofton. Here's the wind by Smoltz, and the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fouled back into the upper deck out of play. It remains 2-2. Once again today, we have banners. We have tomahawks of all shapes and sizes. We have costumes, trumpets, you name it, tom-toms, everything. Lined by Lofton, right at the shortstop, Belliard, who makes the grab down on one knee. A line drive to the shortstop, Rafael Belliard. Lofton retired for the game's first out. And that'll bring up the right fielder, Steve Finley. Finley hitting .285, 8 home runs and 54 runs driven in. He's been doing a lot of interviews with the media here, and you might ask, well, what's he done that's so special? Well, he's been through just about what the Atlanta Braves have been through before with that Baltimore Oriole team a couple of years ago. That almost won. There's a high fly ball on the first pitch to Finley into shallow center field. Ronnie Gant coming in, still coming. He's got it, 2 down. Finley came in at .285. And the first 2 Astros retired here in the first inning. Now Craig Biggio hitting .297. He has 4 homers, 46 runs driven in. The outfield will play him as an off-field hitter. Here's the wind by Smoltz. The pitch on the way to Biggio. It is right through there for a call strike, 0-1. For those of you listening to us on the network that have not been around Atlanta the last couple of days, you can't believe it. You cannot believe it. You cannot turn around without seeing a sign or a banner or a swing and a miss and a breaking ball. 0-2. We understand that the construction sign on I-20 is flashing Go Braves as this game gets underway. Every restaurant, every store. The 0-2 pitch on the way now to Craig Biggio. Popped him up, foul territory, first base side. Sid Bream coming over. He's making the call. And the catch, and John Smoltz gets the Astros 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Nothing doing for Houston after a half inning. Houston nothing. Atlanta coming up. Defensively in the outfield, Gonzalez in left, Lofton in center, Finley in right. Around the infield, Caminiti at third, Cedeno at short, Candel at second, Bagwell at first. The catcher is Craig Biggio. And on the mound, veteran right-hander Mark Portugal. Portugal had been a starting pitcher all season long until about 2 weeks ago, and Art Howe said he was going to try him out as a closer. That didn't work very well. He worked 5 games in relief. He did pick up 1 save, but his other 4 outings, including 3 against Atlanta, were not good. So Art Howe resting him for the last 3 or 4 days to get him into this series back in his more familiar role of starting pitcher. This will be his 32nd game, his 27th start. He has 1 complete game. He's worked 166 innings, given up 156 hits, 19 home runs, a lot of gopher balls, 57 walks, 120 strikeouts, a record of 10-11, ERA 4.38, lifetime against the Braves. He's 4-2. Lonnie Smith leads off here in the bottom of the first, batting .272, 7 home runs, 43 runs driven in. look in by the veteran Mark Portugal. And the right-hander's first pitch on the way to Lonnie. It's a fastball low, ball one. Notice one thing, when Mark Portugal was walking in from the Houston bullpen, the crowd was doing the tomahawk chop. He was doing it right along with him, as if it was for him. The pitch to Lonnie Smith fouled off to the left, and the count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. On the way to Lonnie, and it's low and outside. 2-1. Mark Lemke will follow. Terry Pendleton after him. Boy, this crowd is ready. Here's the 2-1 delivery, a little low. Ball 3, 3-1. Now the wind by Portugal. 3-1 pitch on the way. Line drive, left center field. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Lofton over to pick up the ball, get it back to second. And Lonnie Smith aboard with a leadoff single here in the bottom half of the first inning. And that'll bring up second baseman Mark Lemke. Let's see how the Braves play it here. If they'll play for an early run or try for a big inning. Lemke, 234, a couple of home runs, 23 RBIs. Here go the Tom-Toms and the Tomahawks. It's a sight that the folks who come here for the first time don't soon forget. The stretch by Portugal, pitch to Lemke. He was not squaring, took it outside for a ball. 2:43 left in the game. Georgia Tech now trailing North Carolina State. NC State 28, Georgia Tech 21. 2:43 remaining in that one. Lonnie Smith, the runner at first. Bagwell holds him there. The look over by Portugal. A throw to first. Lonnie gets back. Lonnie 9 stolen bases in 14 tries this year. He's been in double figures in stolen bases every full season in the major leagues. So he needs one more to keep that string going. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Lemke takes a strike. Fastball outside corner. 1-1. Terry Pendleton, the on-deck hitter. The stretch. And the 1-1 on the way. Line drive right field. That's going to fall. Base hit. Lonnie Smith will stop at second. Braves runners at first and second with nobody out. Back-to-back singles by Lonnie Smith and Mark Lemke have the Braves in business in the very first inning. And the batter will be the league's leading hitter, Terry Pendleton, hitting .318, 22 homers, 85 RBIs. Hal Morris 0 for 4 last night has dropped down to .316. Tony Gwynn, who's been idle since undergoing the knee surgery, at .317. The runners get their leads. Lemke off first, Lonnie Smith off second. Portugal comes to the belt, and the pitch on the way to Pendleton. Line drive, base hit, left field. Lonnie Smith being waved around third, heading home. The throw comes to third. It's 1-0 Atlanta. It didn't take long. Consecutive singles by Lonnie Smith, Mark Lemke, and Terry Pendleton. And the Braves have a 1-0 lead. Pendleton's 86th RBI of the season.
Breaking ball, fat right over the middle of the plate. Pendleton slapped it through a gaping hole on the left side of the infield. Lonnie Smith stumbled as he rounded third base, but Gonzalez came up through to third, and the Braves have the first run of the game.
Now David Justice batting .278 with 21 homers, 87 RBIs. In San Francisco, the Dodgers did not score in the top half of the first against Trevor Wilson. Giants now batting against Mike Morgan. Activity already. In the Houston bullpen, it looks like Dwayne Henry throwing. Here's the pitch to Justice. A swing and a miss at a breaking ball from Portugal, 0-1. It is Dwayne Henry down in the Astro pen. One run in on 3 consecutive hits. Nobody out. Portugal comes to the belt, and the 0-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball missed low. It's even on David Justice. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, Portugal comes set. Here's the 1-1 to Justice. Fastball strike, caught the outside corner. And Portugal ahead in the count now, 1-2. Ronnie Gant waiting on deck. Here's the stretch. And the 1-2 pitch. Threw him a breaking ball, missed low and inside. 2-2 to count on David Justice. Biggio gives the sign. The check of the runners by Portugal. The 2-2 on the way. Bouncing ball up the middle. Shortstop Cedeno boots it. Another error by Andujar Cedeno. That's a double play if he fields it cleanly. He was right next to the bag. If he picks it up and steps on second and goes to first, he's got a double play. As it is, he commits his 4th error of this series. And the bases are loaded with nobody out for Ronnie Gant. This is a weekend that young Andujar Cedeno will not soon forget. He has come into a pressure-packed weekend and has not responded at all well defensively. And now we've got a visit to the mound as Dwayne Henry continues to throw in the bullpen. Bob Cluck, the pitching coach of the Astros, is heading out there. The Braves have won 7 games in a row. What a time to string together your longest winning streak of the year. We've been commenting all year about how the Braves have really stayed away from long streaks of any kind. There have been no real huge losing streaks or any winning streaks of any real length until now, but what a time to do it.
It's somewhat eerie and ominous, but this crowd and this atmosphere is somewhat reminiscent of the Dodger game here in Atlanta when Sid Bream connected with that grand slam in the first off Ramon Martinez. The crowd is into every single pitch, and the Braves have scored early and often, hopefully.
The meeting breaks up. Bob Cluck back to the Houston dugout, and Ronnie Gant steps in, hitting .249, 31 homers, 103 runs driven in. But before we resume, we have to wait for Houston to get a third baseman. Ken Caminiti came off the field when Cluck walked out to the mound. He hasn't returned yet, perhaps having some work done on a glove. So time has been called here while we wait for Caminiti. Here he comes. He was maybe getting some sunglasses, too. That sun in and out today. It was shining brightly when the game began. It's stuck behind a cloud right now. The infield will play in at the corners for Houston. Nobody out, 1 run in. And now time called as Craig Biggio has to make an adjustment on his mask. And look at Mark Portugal out on the mound. He wants to get going here. He's out there with his arms folded.
You'd think Biggio would have been able to adjust it while Caminiti was in the Astro dugout. And when you're struggling, the last thing you want to do is have more interruption. You want to try to find some sort of rhythm out there. But the Astro defense hasn't helped Portugal so far, but in fairness, he hasn't helped himself either.
Justice at first, Pendle in second, Lemke third. Here's the stretch by Portugal. And the pitch on the way to Ronnie Gant. Fly ball, left center field. Long run for Kenny Lofton. A long run for Luis Gonzalez. Gonzalez makes the catch. The tag at third by Lemke. He'll score. It's 2-0. As Gant drives in his 104th run of the year with a sacrifice fly to left. The other runners stay put at first and second. And with 1 out, here's Sid Bream. Bream comes in at .253, 11 homers, and 45 runs driven in. Braves leading at 2-0 here in the bottom half of the first inning. Justice the runner at first. Terry Pendleton down at second. Here's the stretch. And the pitch on the way outside with a fastball. Ball 1 to Sid Bream. Again, the stretch by Portugal. 1-0 pitch on the way is high. Tried to throw a breaking ball, and it slipped. And just floated. 2-0 the count now, and Sid Bream. Dwayne Henry continues in the Astro bullpen. Here's the stretch. And a 2-0 pitch on the way. Bream hits one off the end of the bat, dribbling it toward third. Caminiti, barehanded pickup. His throw on to first is not in time. That ball only dribbled about 45 feet down the third base line off the end of the bat by Sid Bream. Caminiti was playing deep and swung around toward the hole, had a long run for it. He got to it, made the barehanded pickup, and threw to first, not in time. A rare infield hit for Sid Bream.
I was going to say, it might be your year when Sid legs out an infield roller. Bases now loaded again for Atlanta.
That's the fourth hit of the inning off Portugal, and here's catcher Greg Olson, hitting .243 with 6 homers and 44 RBIs. And as you look up and down this Atlanta Braves roster, I don't think anybody is enjoying this run at first place more than Greg Olson, who just 2 years ago was nearly out of baseball. Portugal wants the signs given again. The infield in at first. Double play depth at the other 3 spots. 1 out, 2 runs in. The stretch by Portugal. The pitch to Olson is taken for a strike, 0-1. Braves trying to break it wide open early. Have already plated 2. Here's the 0-1 on the way. It misses inside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Olson.
Sometimes it takes an opposing player to make you appreciate just how valuable a commodity Greg Olson is. Mike Scioscia of the Dodgers said if he had to pick an MVP on this Braves team, Greg Olson would be one of his candidates for the kind of year he's had.
Bream off first, Justice off second, Pendleton off third. Olson swings and fouls one off at the plate. And the count 1-2 in the Braves catcher.
And I think those comments were more in line with the job that Greg has done behind the plate. Catching every day in September, virtually every inning in September, and now in October.
He has only had 3 innings off since the 1st of September. And that includes catching both ends of a doubleheader in which each game went 10 innings. Portugal and Biggio having trouble getting together again on the sides. Portugal steps off. Now they're ready to stretch in the 1-2 pitch. Change-up hit on 1 hop to third. Caminiti goes to second and 1. Candell on to first in time for the double play. The Braves scored 2 in the bottom half of the first. The Giants didn't score in the bottom half of the first, so after 1, Dodgers nothing, Giants nothing, Braves 2, Astros nothing. It's 2-0 Atlanta as we go to the top half of the second. A football final. North Carolina State has defeated Georgia Tech 28-21. And Jeff Bagwell will lead off here in the second inning for Houston, batting .293, 15 homers, 82 RBIs. Just about a shoe-in for the Rookie of the Year honors in the National League. Not a whole lot of competition in that category this year. And even if there was, he might still win it. He's had a good year. The first pitch almost hit him in the head. He just did get out of the way. Bagwell takes a little walk. 1 ball, no strikes. Luis Gonzalez will follow, and then Ken Caminiti. Outfield playing Bagwell way off the line and left. Shaded toward right center is Ronnie Gant. And just about straight away and right is Justice. Here's the 1-0 pitch. The breaking ball missed outside and low, 2-0. Smoltz 2-11 at the All-Star break, 11-2 since, and he's taken his earned run average from the 5.4 range to 3.87. The pitch to Bagwell is popped up high in the air, right side of the infield. Sid Bream waves everybody off, makes the catch. That's 4 in a row. Retired by John Smoltz. All the balls have been hit in the air. That's normally a good sign. When Smoltz has that good fastball, it sort of rises, and he gets a lot of fly balls and pop-ups. And here's Luis Gonzalez, the left fielder. .254 hitter with 13 homers, 69 runs driven in. Expect to hear some pretty good numbers from this guy in the future years. He's got good power. He has struggled a little bit against left-hand pitching this year, but not against righties. The line by Smoltz, the pitch on the way to Gonzalez, is taken upstairs. Fastball missing, ball 1.
This guy's, excuse me, Pete, this guy's numbers will improve once they fix the fence situation at home, too.
Yeah, it has to cost him. Those deep, deep fences at the Dome. The next pitch is low and inside, 2-0, a football score. With 1:33 left in the game, Southern Mississippi 10, Auburn 9. Dodgers and Giants, no score after 1. Here it's 2-0 Atlanta after 1. One man out, a 2-0 pitch to Gonzalez. Line drive, hit up the middle. It's going to get through into center field for a base hit. And the Astros have their first base runner of the day. A one-out single up the middle by Gonzalez. Bringing up Ken Caminiti. Switch hitting third baseman, batting from the left side. That's the way you try to get him to hit. He's only a .216 hitter left-handed, a .310 hitter right-handed. He does have power, 13 homers and 80 RBIs. Hit a home run here last night. First pitch low and inside, ball 1 to Ken Caminiti. Gonzalez, the runner at first, also runs well. He has 10 stolen bases this year. Smoltz working from the stretch for the first time today. Takes a look at the runner. And the 1-0 pitch on the way. It's high and outside, ball 2. Now here comes the manager on the field, Terry Pendleton, over to settle down John Smoltz. What kind of an impact has this Atlanta team had? I received a birth announcement today from Debbie Munger, who works over at the Turner corporate office. She just had a baby boy, named him Stephen Avery Munger. How's that? Here's the 2-0 pitch. There's a high pop foul coming back out of play. It's 2-1 now on Ken Caminiti.
How come nobody ever names their kids after the broadcasters?
Well, they don't want them to grow up to be fat or bald. 2-1 the count. Here's the stretch of the pitch. Foul back. That got a piece of plate umpire Charlie Williams. 2-2. One man out, a runner first. 2-0 Braves. We've hardly even mentioned the fact that it's Fan Appreciation Weekend. All sorts of prizes being given away this weekend, but we really haven't had to. We've been telling you how the fans are appreciated all season long this year. That breaking ball just missed low and inside. 3-2 now on Ken Caminiti. Andujar Cedeno on deck. Here's the stretch by Smoltz. The runner is going. 3-2 pitch, ground ball to second. Lemke has no time for a play at second, so he turns and throws to first in time. So by sending the runner, the Astros stay out of the double play. 2 men gone, with Gonzalez now down at second base, and Andujar Cedeno, who would certainly like to redeem himself after making 4 errors in the first 2 games in this series already, steps in. Hitting .239 with 8 homers, 33 RBIs. He's kind of an all-or-nothing type of hitter right now. He's had 243 at-bats, 73 strikeouts. He's only walked 8 times, but he does have 8 homers. And his combined numbers, AAA in the major leagues this year, 14 homers and 88 runs driven in for a shortstop. So he's got some power. Here's the pitch to the right-hand hitting Cedeno. He swings and misses 0-1. He's kind of a free swinger, a wild swinger, but when he connects, look out. Two outs, Gonzalez at second. The outfield playing Cedeno as an off-field hitter. They don't think he's going to be able to pull John Smoltz. Here's the 0-1 pitch to him. He pops this one foul, back out of play. And it's 0-2 now on Andujar Cedeno. If Smoltz can record the win today, the top 4 starters in the Braves rotation will all have winning records. Glavine 20-11, Avery 18-8. Lee Brandt 15-12, and John trying to go 14-13 with this one. There's a little tap hit out in front of the plate, picked up by Olson. His throw on to first going to be close there, and it's not in time. Olson had to reach twice for that ball before making the connection out on the grass in front of home plate. And by the time he got the throw to first, Cedeno had beaten it. Let's pause for station identification on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
Wake up to Atlanta's morning news. Scott Slade and the News, Weather, and Traffic team help you start your day informed. AM 750 WSB, Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
They score that one, a base hit for Andujar Cedeno, so they're at first and third now with 2 outs for Casey Candel, batting .263, 4 homers, 49 runs driven in. Switch hitter, batting left-handed. First pitch to him, ground ball out to short. Rafael Belliard fields, flips to second in time for the force on Cedeno. And that is all for Houston in the second. No runs, 2 hits. And runners were stranded at first and third at the end of an inning and a half in Atlanta. It's the Braves 2 and the Astros nothing. Nothing Atlanta as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. Dodgers are still batting in the top of the second at Candlestick with no score in their game. An upset in college football. It's a final now. Southern Miss defeated Auburn 10-9. So 16th ranked Auburn knocked off by Southern Miss 10-9. And Rafael Belliard will lead off here in the bottom half of the second, hitting .249 with 27 runs driven in. A .275 hitter his last 91 at bats. He has done it all defensively and offensively these last few weeks. And the first pitch on the way to Belliard fouled off the end of the bat. They count 0-1. In fact, right now the Braves infield defensively just about as good as it gets, with Breen, Lemke, Belliard, and Pendleton. Portugal winds and delivers, and Belliard swings and loops one over first into right field for a base hit. Hit number 5 off Mark Portugal. Now the pitcher, John Smoltz, in all likelihood up there to try to bunt the runner over.
Boy, it's really amazing to watch Belliard hit and continue to defy the defensive shifts that the opposing teams put on him. Everyone swung around way toward right, but he's still got enough juice on that to line it over the glove of Bagwell into right field.
Smoltz on the year hitting .111. He has 3 runs driven in. As far as sacrifices, he has 7 of them. That ranks 3rd on the Braves staff. He was swinging at the first pitch and hit a foul ball off to the right. Jeff Bagwell's glad it was foul. Bagwell was only about 30 feet away when Smoltz took that big cut. But the Astros still not convinced that he won't be bunting. Caminiti remains in on the grass at third. Bagwell holding the runner at first will probably continue to charge in from there. Portugal now steps off the rubber. Here's the stretch in the pitch. Smoltz is squaring this time. Gets the bunt down. It's a good one. Fielded by Portugal about halfway home, and the throw on to first in time. 1-4 on the sacrifice. Belliard down to second. And Lonnie Smith will be the batter. Lonnie got it going in the first inning with a leadoff single. Came around to score the first of 2 Atlanta runs. And the Tomahawks are out. Dodgers didn't score in the top half of the second. They go to the bottom half of the second at Candlestick. Still 0-0. Here's the pitch to Lonnie Smith. Swing and a miss. Looked like the slider from Portugal. The count 0-1. Again, the stretch by Mark Portugal, and the 0-1 pitch coming to Lonnie Smith. The breaking ball missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pete Harnish against Charlie Leibrandt tomorrow. And that's a game which may be for all the marbles, or you may see a lot of youngsters playing. Here's the 1-1. Now let up high, 2-1. One out, a runner second. 2-0 Atlanta, bottom half of inning 2. The look back by Portugal, and a pitch on the way. Lonnie swings, high fly ball, left center field. Gonzalez started in, now going back. He misjudged it. It's over his head and bounces over the left center field wall. That'll be a ground rule double. And Rafael Belliard will have to return. No, he won't either. He was already down at second. He scores. And that makes it 3-0. Luis Gonzalez badly misjudged that ball. He broke way in on it and came in 4 or 5 steps before realizing his mistake, and then broke back. And by then it was too late. The ball bounced on the edge of the track over the left center field wall. Give Lonnie an RBI. It's now 3-0. His 44th RBI of the year. Belliard scoring from second. That's 6 hits off Portugal. Once again, Dwayne Henry getting up in the Houston bullpen. And the batter, Mark Lemke, who singled in the first inning, came around to score. 3-0 Braves. The stretch in the pitch. Fastball right through there for a call strike, 0-1. And the look back by Portugal. The pitch coming. It's high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Watching Mark Portugal pitch out of the bullpen in Houston and in this game, he just looks to be tired. He is not nearly as sharp with his control, or his stuff doesn't look to be nearly as good as we've seen it. The next pitch to Lemke hit high in the air, center field. Lofton coming in, now breaks back and makes the catch. Tagging at second, heading over toward third is Lonnie Smith, and he'll go in standing. So 2 men are out now with a runner at third. And the batter will be Terry Pendleton, who continued his quest for the MVP crown and for the batting title with a run-scoring single in the first inning. Terry now up to .320 for the year. It's 90 points higher than he hit a year ago. A runner at third, 2 outs. From the windup, Portugal delivers to Pendleton. Low and outside, ball 1. Here comes the wave right under us. And there it goes. Here's the pitch to Pendleton. Fastball strike in the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Atlanta. 0-2-1 for Houston. We're in the bottom half of inning 2. A win today clinches at least a tie for first. Here's the 1-1. Low and inside, 2-1. Here's the wind by Portugal. 2-1 pitch on the way. Low and outside, ball 3. 3-1 the count. One reason you can tell Portugal is not as sharp is he's not throwing his changeup very often, and when he's really effective, he can throw that pitch over and over and over again and get you out, as he's proven against the Braves in the past. The next pitch to Terry Pendleton, low and outside, ball 4. And there's the first walk issued by Mark Portugal. Runners will be at first and third for David Justice. With the Braves leading here 3-0, they've completed 2 now in San Francisco, and there's still no score. Dodgers nothing, Giants nothing. That's Mike Morgan facing Trevor Wilson. Justice reached on an error by Cedeno. We got to say that a lot last night. First and third, 2 down, a run in, 3-0. Portugal has struggled from the very outset of this one. Here's the right-hander stretch. His pitch on the way to Justice. He swings and misses at that changeup. That's the first real good one that Portugal's thrown today. The count 0-1. Here's the stretch again. And the 0-1 delivery. Justice swings. Hits a 2-hopper to first, fielded by Bagwell. That was another changeup and another good one. And Bagwell runs to the bag and plenty of time to retire Justice for out number 3. But the Braves pick up 1 more run, 2 more hits. They leave 2. At the end of 2, Atlanta 3, Houston nothing. And just as they go to the top of the third at Candlestick Park with no score, we go to the top of the third here in Atlanta with the Braves leading at 3-0. Pete Van Weer and Chip Caray with you this afternoon. And pitcher Mark Portugal will lead things off here. Portugal, a pretty good hitter, hitting 200. He's only struck out 4 times in 45 at-bats. And all 4 of those strikeouts coming since the 1st of September. First pitch, fly ball, deep right field. Justice drifting back. He's got it, 1 out. Portugal made a bet with his manager, Art Howe, that he'd go the entire season without striking out, and he almost made it. He got into September before striking out the first time. Now Kenny Lofton will give Portugal time to get back to the Houston dugout. Lofton lined out to short his first time up. The Astros only 4-12 against the Braves this year. Here's the wind by Smoltz. The pitch on the way to Lofton. He was squaring a bunt. Pulled back. It was high. Ball 1. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. That's taken for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lofton named the outstanding prospect in the Pacific Coast League by Baseball America after his .308 season there with 50 RBIs and 40 stolen bases. The 1-1 coming. He takes strike 2. Knee-high fastball. 1-2 the count at Lofton. The wind by Smoltz, and the 1-2 pitch on the way. He tried to stop his swing, couldn't on the slider. Strike 3. Smoltz records his first strikeout. And 2 down quickly here in the top of the third. Now Steve Finley, who flied out to center in the first. Houston has put together a nucleus of very good young players. They're probably a couple of years away from being a winning team, but nothing wrong with the way they're going about it. Here's the pitch to Finley, taken high, ball 1. Some people say they could become a winner even as early as next year, but there's one little problem with that. First, the 1-0 pitch. That's low and inside 2-0. They've got that month-long road trip because of the Republican convention, and that's going to be a difficult time of year for a young ball club especially. And their bullpen situation is still an awful mess. If they could get a closer, a guy who could come in and save some ball games for them, they could pick up some wins, but it's going to be tough. Here's the wind by Smoltz. The 2-0 pitch on the way. Bouncing ball right side's going to get through into right field for a base hit. Hit number 3 off of Smoltz, and Finley aboard with 2 outs in the third for Craig Biggio, who fouled out to first his first time up. Starting to hear talk again about Biggio maybe moving to the infield at second base next year. In fact, he played a little second base against the Giants recently. A look toward first, throw over by Smoltz, and back safely is Steve Finley. Have a young catcher, Scott Service, who they hope will be able to get a little more playing time next year. Again, the stretch and the pitch. Bouncing ball slowly out toward short. Belliard charging. He's got it. Throwing on to first in time. And that's all for Biggio. That's all for Houston in the third. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. At the end of 2.5, score remains Atlanta 3, Houston nothing.
Must for your video library.
So far, so good here in Atlanta. Bottom half of the third about to begin. Braves leading at 3-0. To tell you all about it, here's Chip Caray.
Thanks a lot, Pete. It'll be Gant, Bream, and Olson for Atlanta in the bottom half of the third inning. The Braves have gotten to Mark Portugal in the first 2 innings. 2 runs on 4 hits in the first inning. A run on 2 hits in the second. They move now to the bottom of the third at Candlestick Park. Dodgers nothing, Giants nothing. Here, Ronnie Gant, Sid Bream, and Greg Olson will try to add to the damage against Mark Portugal. Gant has no official at-bats today, but he does have a sacrifice fly and RBI. He now has 104 RBIs on the year. Ronnie's bat is starting to come to life a bit. He's 14 for his last 40. The right-hander winds, deals. There's that changeup, caught the inside corner, 0-1. It seems like Portugal is now starting to go to that pitch a little more as he's gotten more comfortable out on that mound. Ronnie Gant with the stirrup socks very low, digs back in. The breaking ball bounces up there. The count evens, a ball and a strike. It's a new look for Ronnie Gant. Stirrups very low down by the shoes, almost no white showing at all on the ankle portion of his socks. Another changeup, this one inside, 2-1. Portugal takes a little walk out on that mound. He steps back atop the perch. Gant digs in. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Here it is. Fastball ripped over short. Base hit. Gant hit it right on the button for his first hit of the afternoon. 7 hits for Atlanta, and the leadoff man aboard once again for the Braves in the third. 3 straight singles in as many innings for Atlanta with their leadoff man. And we'll see again how Bobby Cox plays it here with Sid Bream, the hitter. Bream with an infield hit his first time up. Gant, of course, a threat to steal. He has stolen 34 bases on the year, and he's got a good lead at first. Portugal works off the stretch. Snap throw, Gant back standing up.
Dwayne Henry up for the 3rd time today in the bullpen for Houston.
At this rate, he might work a complete game but not get in. Gant, another good lead at first. The right-hander comes set. The left-hand hitter, Sid Bream, waits. Outside with a fastball, 1 ball, no strikes. The Braves have a 3-0 lead, threatening for more here in the third. No score in San Francisco. A Braves win and a Dodger loss, and the season is over for all intents and purposes. The 1-0 pitch, down low, 2-0. If the Braves win and the Dodgers win, Atlanta clinches a tie in the West. Two balls, no strikes. Bream digs in the pitch. Low, 3-0. Greg Olson waits on deck. The Braves are gunning for a franchise-high 94th win. The 3-0. Swinging, fouled it to the screen. Boy, he had a pitch to his liking, and he just missed it, did Sid Bream. The count now 3-1. When you're struggling like Bream has been at the plate, sometimes you'll see a manager give his batter a green light and hope he can shake himself out of that slump. But I will say this about Sid Bream. Every one of his hits lately have been big ones. They have scored runs or been home runs. A 3-1 count. Gant, a good lead. Portugal steps off, but no throw. Another sellout here in Atlanta, enjoying the festivities so far. It's 3-0. Portugal comes set. Runner goes. Pitch inside. Ball 4. Second walk for Portugal. Runners at first and second. Nobody out for Greg Olson. Jimmy Williams flashing the signs down at third. Olson with a good long look. Belliard waits on deck. And now Ken Caminiti at third wants to talk things over with his pitcher. Perhaps that's a defensive move, as they think the Braves might try to sacrifice the runners over. And let's see what's going to happen here. They might walk Olson to pitch to Belliard. Now they're going to pitch to him here. So runners at first and second. Caminiti in on the grass at third. They're in at first as well. Double play depth up the middle. The pitch, he's swinging. Takes it outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Olson wrapped into a 5-4-3 double play his first time up. The Braves have runners first and second. Nobody out in their half of the third inning. Gant the runner at second. And Bream the runner at first. The infield in at the corners for the Astros. A bluff towards second. Gant dives back safely.
Giants didn't score in the bottom of the third. Still scoreless after 3. Dodgers and Giants at Candlestick.
The pitch to Olson. Outside, 2-0. Dwayne Henry is up in the bullpen, not even throwing anymore. I think he's loose. He's been up every inning in the game. Greg Olson. A couple of practice hacks. Portugal wants Biggio. Reflashed the signs. Now he steps off. They've had trouble getting together.
I could understand it if it was a rookie catcher or a rookie pitcher, but these two guys ought to know each other pretty well by this stage of the season.
2-0, bounce towards short. Cedeno boots it. It's off his glove into center field. A run is in. Bream stops at second. It's 4-0. Another error for Cedeno, and you got to start feeling for the kid now. That's 5 errors in 2 games, and Art Howe's on his way to the mound.
And that is 42 errors committed by Houston shortstops this season. 42.
Art Howe making the slow walk toward the pitcher's mound, and he has indicated Dwayne Henry will be his new pitcher. So the Astros have made 2 errors, both on the shortstop, Andujar Cedeno, and Mark Portugal's troubles against the Atlanta team continue here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. The Braves have a 4-0 lead. Runners first and second, still nobody out. And as the Astros get relief by calling on a new pitcher, you can get relief from the weather by calling your good sense specialist. Astros manager Art Howe is making a pitching change. The new pitcher will be right-hander Dwayne. 51 strikeouts, 39 walks. And he'll face Belliard, Smoltz, and perhaps Lonnie Smith. Runners first and second, still nobody out in the Atlanta third inning. It's 4-0 Braves. It's scoreless at Candlestick Park as they move to the top of the 4th inning. Atlanta can clinch a tie if they can. win this game against Houston. And Dwayne Henry will be the second Astro pitcher. He'll face Rafael Belliard. Sid Bream, the runner at second. Greg Olson, the runner at first. Very poor speed on the base path, so it would take a gapper to score anybody. Belliard singled and scored his first time up. Big Dwayne Henry comes set in the pitch. Fastball high, 1 ball, no strikes. Belliard looks at Jimmy Williams down at third, now steps back in. Henry to the belt, the runner's the lead, the pitch. The slider and a good one on the outside corner. It's 1-1. The runner's there, leads in the pitch. Ripped foul down the right side, now to play. The count now 1-2. Dwayne Henry's been somewhat of a forgotten man for this Astro ball club. In the first half of the year, he pitched an awful lot. But in the second half, he has not pitched nearly as much. The pitch to Belliard. Foul tip to the screen. The little guy's hanging tough here against big Dwayne Henry, former Atlanta Brave. 4-0 Braves. We're in the third still. Mark Portugal has been knocked out. And will need some help if he's to snap a 5-game losing streak. Dwayne Henry glares in at Biggio behind the plate. The set and the delivery. Breaking ball stayed high. It's 2-2. The pitcher, John Smoltz, waits on deck. Andujar Cedeno has committed 2 errors in this game. He committed 3 yesterday. And the 2-2 pitch. Belliard, a little bloop toward right. That's trouble if it drops. On comes Finley, but he makes the catch. A nice running catch in right by Steve Finley, who was playing shallow right field and got a very good break on that ball and made the catch for out number 1. Runners hold at first and second now for John Smoltz. If Belliard was able to hit that ball a little bit more on a line, he would have had himself a hit. But he could not, and the Braves now have 1 out in the third for Smoltz, who sacrificed his first time up. Smoltz now with 8 sacrifices on the year. We'll see what he does here with 1 man out. He squares the bunt, lays it down. It's a line drive, caught by the first baseman. Throw to first, in time, double play. A 3-4 double play on a pop foul bunt sacrifice by Smoltz. And the double play ends what could have been a very promising inning. The Braves do pick up a run on a hit. There was an error. We've played 3 in Atlanta. Braves 4, Astros nothing. 4-0 our score after 3 innings here in Atlanta. The Astros will send Bagwell, Gonzalez, and Caminiti to the plate against John Smoltz. Before we go any further, let's pause for station identification. You're listening to the Atlanta Braves Baseball Network.
Start every day with Atlanta's morning news. Clear, concise, and to the point. Weekday mornings on AM 750 WSB. Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
Along with Pete Van Wieren and Chip Caray welcoming you back to Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. So far, so good for the Braves. They lead the Astros 4-0. If they hang on and win this game, they have clinched a tie in the National League West. If the Giants beat the Dodgers, the Braves will have won the West. Bagwell leads it off against Smoltz. The right-hander winds, fires, fastball low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Bagwell popped out to first baseman Sid Bream. His first time up, that in the second inning. The wind and the delivery downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes to Jeff Bagwell, who has had a superb year. .292 average, 15 homers, 82 runs batted in. The 2-0 pitch, broken bat bloop toward short left. Belliard out, still going out over the shoulder, can't make the catch. And Bagwell will record his first hit of the afternoon. Lonnie Smith got an awful jump on that ball. I don't think he ever saw it. Ronnie Gant came charging in center field, and Belliard had a long way to go, almost made a spectacular catch, but was a couple of feet shy.
2 innings plus 3 batters in the third, 7 hits, 4 runs, only 3 wired, 2 bases on balls.
So 1 on, nobody out in the 4th inning for the Astros, and Luis Gonzalez, the hitter. He now owns a 5-game hitting streak. It's lefty against righty here. The pitch, breaking ball. He laid off. 1 ball, no strikes. Gonzalez making the transition from Double-A baseball to the major leagues. He played in Columbus in the Southern League last year. Here in his first year in the major leagues, hitting .250, 13 homers, 69 runs batted in. The 1-0. Missed downstairs, 2-0. Smoltz not as sharp as he was last time out against the Reds. And Ken Caminiti waits on deck. Bagwell has 7 stolen bases, has a good lead. The pitch, driven deep toward right center field. Long run, David Justice still going. He's got it in right center field. A fine running catch, and now the throw back toward first. A close play, but not in time. Bagwell retreats, and Gonzalez retired on a long fly ball out to right center field. Justice got a great jump on that ball as well. And Pete made the point earlier about Luis Gonzalez. He is going to put up tremendous power numbers in the future. He is a good-looking hitter. So now 1 on, 1 out in the Astro 4th inning. Here's Ken Caminiti, the switch-hitting third baseman, grounded out to Lemke, his first time up. The Braves look for the double play here. Smoltz sets and deals. High pop back this way. And over our heads, it's 0-1. John Smoltz has a personal 5-game win streak. He'd love to extend it to 6 here. The 0-1. Breaking ball, ripped foul past first base coach Ed Ott. And Caminiti quickly in a hole, 0-2. The weather forecasts were very gloomy before this weekend series began, but we've had absolutely delightful weather so far. Some gray clouds overhead, but still a very sunny afternoon in Atlanta. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Chased a high fastball. And foul tipped it into the glove of Greg Olson. Second strikeout for Smoltz, and he climbed the ladder. Good news from Candlestick Park, perhaps. Will Clark hit his 7th triple of the year. He's at third with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's Andujar Cedeno, who draws some sarcastic applause. A breaking ball upstairs, 1-0. Cedeno singled and was erased on a fielder's choice in the second. And the Giants have scored. It's 1-0 San Francisco. Swing, foul tip off Olson. Count evens 1-1. Ernie Johnson brought us some Buckeyes from Ohio. So far, so good, partner. 4-0 Braves. The Giants lead the Dodgers 1-0. They're still batting in their half of the 4th inning. So perhaps baseball history could be made. Still a long way to go, though. The 1-1. Just missed low. It's 2-1. Bagwell, the runner at first. There are 2 men out in the Astro 4th inning. The crowd begins to chant, "Beat L.A." Smoltz comes set. The delivery. Swing and a miss. Didn't get a fastball. It's 2-2. This is the kind of moment that just gives you goosebumps, just thinking about all the possibilities and what could happen for this town, for this city, for this organization, for the players. A once-in-a-lifetime experience this summer in Atlanta. The 2-2. Breaking ball ripped down the left field line. That's trouble. Lonnie Smith, long run. It is off the wall. Bagwell is on his way to third. Lonnie misplays it. A run will score. It's 4-1. A double and an RBI for Andujar Cedeno. Bagwell scores from first, and it's now 4-1. RBI number 34 for Cedeno, and it's now a 3-run lead. He went down and got a ball, ripped it down the line and left it. Hit off the base of the wall. Lonnie Smith came in too far, and it bounced past him into the left center field alley, and the run scored easily.
We told you a little bit about Cedeno's power. That's his 13th double. He has 23 extra base hits in 66 games, so about once in every 3 games, he gets an extra base hit of some sort.
Here's Casey Candel. Takes a strike. It's 0-1. 4-1 now. Braves lead in the 4th. There are 2 outs, however. Chris Gardner, a right-hander, begins to throw in the Astro bullpen. Smoltz to the belt. The pitch. Line toward right field. That's a base hit. Justice comes up charging. He misplays it. Another run is in. It's 4-2. A single RBI for Candel. All the trouble coming now with 2 outs. This game's not over yet. The Astros have scored 2 in the 4th. And now Young will be called upon to pinch hit for Dwayne Henry. 2 runs on 3 hits in the inning. And the trouble coming for Smoltz with 2 men out. So Gerald Young now will pinch hit for Henry. Young on the year, 225, a homer, 11 RBIs. He's 3 for 22 as a pinch hitter. 4-2 now, Atlanta in the 4th. Braves will have to go back to work on the Astro bullpen. They've done it before. Young, a switch hitter, 6'2", 185 pounds. Born in Honduras. He bats left-handed here against Smoltz, who sets and deals. Fastball, check swing, didn't mean to. Pendleton in at third. Gloves, guns, in time, got him. Inning over. Smoltz got Young, the pinch hitter, on 1 pitch, but the Astros pick up 2 runs on 3 hits. We move to the bottom of the 4th. Braves 4, Houston 2. Welcome back to the stadium in Atlanta, everybody. We move now to the bottom of the 4th. Braves now lead 4-2, and the cheer you hear is the Dodger-Giants score. It's after 4 innings. San Francisco 1, Los Angeles nothing. Here the Astros go to their bullpen once again. The new pitcher is right-hander Chris Gardner. He's 1-2, an ERA of 4.15. This is 5th game in the major leagues this season. 21 2/3 innings, 18 hits, 11 runs, 10 earned. He has struck out 11, walked 14. The league hitting .234 against him. The Braves have the top of the order due here in the inning. Lonnie Smith, Mark Lemke, and Terry Pendleton. Atlanta could use some more runs. They've given the Astros 2 right back. And it's Gardner against Lonnie Smith. Lonnie 2 for 2. The pitch. Check swing upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Lonnie has singled and doubled. He has scored a run. He has knocked in a run. Gardner into the line. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball ripped toward third. Caminiti on 2 hops. Flips across the diamond in time for out number 1 in the 4th. So Lonnie retired. Here's Mark Lemke. Lemke 1 for 2. He singled and scored in that first inning and flied out to center field his second time up. Lemke now hitting .236, 2 homers, 23 runs batted in. Gardner, the right-hander, winds, deals, fastball. Lemke took it for a strike. It's 0-1. Braves lead 4-2. Giants lead Los Angeles 1-0. And the 0-1 pitch. Change-up upstairs. The count evens, a ball and a strike. Mark Portugal started the game for Houston, went 2 innings plus, 7 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. The 1-1. Taken at the knees for a strike, 1-2. Lemke not too sure, nor are the umpires in the crowd. And now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Change up, fly ball center field. Lofton dead in his tracks, now breaks back, almost misjudged that ball, but makes the recovery in time for out number 2.
Must be a tough sky today. We've seen a lot of outfielders, particularly in left and center, really having trouble judging baseballs when they've been hit. They've broken in on a lot of balls and had to go back. Of course, it's a day game, a lot of white shirts in the crowd, so you got a lighter background to deal with, too.
And now Terry Pendleton. At .320 now. He's brought his average up 2 points. With a single and an RBI, he has also walked. Gardner winds and deals. Fastball chopped toward short, right at Cedeno. Comes up gunning and throws him out. A little ole on that ball, didn't he? Flipped it out of his glove and fired onto first and almost threw it away, but Bagwell made the recovering in time to retire the Braves. 1-2-3 in the fourth. We move to the fifth. Braves 4, Astros 2. Along with Pete Van Wieren, Chip Caray back at the ballpark in Atlanta. We have played 4 innings. It's Atlanta 4, Astros 2. John Smoltz will try to get back on track here in the top of the fifth inning. He gave up 2 runs on 3 hits in the fourth, and he'll face the top of the Houston order here in the fifth. It'll be Lofton, Finley, and Biggio. Those 3 are combined 1 for 6 against Smoltz on the afternoon. The Braves 4 runs on 7 hits. The Astros 2 runs on 6 hits, but they've committed 2 errors. Lofton 0 for 2. He's lined hard to the shortstop, and he has struck out. The pitch. Tries to bunt, and it's a good one. Smoltz will have to hurry. Fields flips. It's not in time. A bunt hit by Lofton. And the crowd thought he was out at first. But an infield hit, a bunt single for Lofton, gets the Astros going in the fifth. He laid it down off that dirt. Smoltz had to field off balance. And Lofton made it a close play at first. So the Astros have their speedy leadoff man aboard here in the top of the fifth inning. And Finley, the hitter, he's 1 for 2, a single and a fly ball to center field. A bang-bang play at first. But Lofton's aboard, nobody out. The pitch. High pop left field. Lonnie Smith had him played perfectly. In a few steps in left near the line, and he makes the catch for out number 1. So the Braves get Finley. And Sid Bream and Randy Marsh having a continuing discussion down at first base about that.
This is a special report from the AM 750 WSB News Center. I'm Mike Cavanaugh. In the city of Atlanta, police on the scene at Atlanta University Center. Unconfirmed reports say an AU police officer was accidentally shot by another Atlanta University police officer as the 2 investigated a break-in. One report from the scene, unconfirmed, says the officer who was shot has died. One other breaking story, one of the most influential members of Congress stepping aside, Georgia Congressman Doug Barnard, confirming for WSB Radio he is retiring and will leave office at the end of this term. I spoke with Barnard just a few minutes ago.
Well, I will confirm that I have decided not to seek re-election in 1992.
Congressman Barnard represents Georgia's 10th Congressional District. I'm Mike Cavanaugh. This has been a special report from the AM 750 WSB News Center. We'll break in with further details on these stories as they become available. Our next scheduled newscast will come after the games tonight here on AM 750 WSB.
And the runner back very easily. Lofton 2 out of 3 in the stolen base department this year. Another throw, another close play, but he's safe. You've got to be careful with Lofton. He stole 62 bases last year in the minor leagues. Biggio now steps out. Looks at Phil Garner, their third base coach. Now steps back in. Lofton again measures his lead at first. Smoltz to the belt. The pitch. Runner fakes. He takes a strike. It's 0-1. John Smoltz with a couple of close plays at first base has kept Lofton honest over at first base. We'll see if he can keep him close here. Biggio, the batter. No balls and a strike. 1 out, top of the fifth inning. Close play again. They got it. A pickoff play at first, and Smoltz picks Lofton off. He got a quarter step too much at first base, and Bream applies the hard tag. No doubt about that one. He was out by 8 inches. And now base is empty and an 0-1 count to Biggio. That's a cardinal sin because Biggio and Bagwell, a couple of power hitters, could tie the game here. But not anymore. The pitch. Breaking ball strike, 0-2. The Astros got a leadoff single by Lofton. Finley fly to left, and now Smoltz has picked Lofton off first base. Biggio behind, no balls, 2 strikes. Pitch, fly ball, right center field. Justice, late break, coming on. He's there, inning over. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left. We move to the bottom of the 5th. Braves 4, Astros 2. Welcome back to Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, everybody. We move now to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Braves still have a 4-2 lead over the Astros. At Candlestick Park in San Francisco, they have played 5 innings complete now. The Giants still lead the Dodgers 1-0. And here in the 5th inning, David Justice, Ronnie Gant, and Sid Bream will take their hacks against Chris Gardner. And here again with the play-by-play story is Pete Van Wieren.
Hey, thank you, Chip. It's our Goodies home run jackpot inning, $1,700 in the jackpot. And Donald Bengi, who lives on 48th Street in Phoenix City, Alabama, is our first entry. Listens to us in WRCG in Columbus. Justice has reached on a Cedeno error and grounded out to first. 4-2 Atlanta, bottom half of the 5th, 1-0 Giants after 5 at Candlestick. Here's the wind by Gardner. Pitch on the way to Justice. He takes a strike in the inside corner. 0-1. Now the young right-hander winds. And the 0-1 pitch coming. There's a high fly ball hit fairly deep to left field. Gonzalez drifting back, gets to the warning track and makes the catch for the out. 1 gone in the bottom of the 5th. And now Ronnie Gant, who had a sac fly to left in the first, driving in his 104th run of the year, then singled and scored in the 3rd. And that was the 100th run scored by Ronnie Gant this year. So he has reached the century mark in RBIs and runs scored, and the 30-30 club again. He is hitting for Mrs. Millie Murphy, who lives on English Oak Drive in Doraville, Georgia. Listens to us on her flagship WSB. Here's the wind by Gardner. The pitch on the way to Gant. High fly ball, deep left field. This one is gone. $1,700 for Mrs. Millie Murphy, who lives on English Oak Drive in Doraville, as Ronnie Gant has just hit his 32nd home run of the year. His 105th RBI. It's 5-2. The jackpot goes back to $500. Sid Bream bats for Thomas Stokes, who lives on Route 3 in Brooklet, Georgia. Pitch to Bream is low, ball 1. He has singled and walked. The wind by Gardner and a 1-0 pitch on the way to Bream. It's high. Ball 2, 2-0. Braves have scored in every inning but 1 in this game. Now a 2-0 pitch on the way to Sid Bream. It's high for a ball, 3-0. And Millie Murphy, English Oak Drive in Doraville, won herself $1,700 for the Ronnie Gant home run here in the bottom half of the 5th. Here's the 3-0 to Bream. He is swinging and hits one foul off to the right. And the count goes to 3-1. 5 runs, 8 hits now for Atlanta. 2 runs, 7 hits, and a couple of errors for Houston. The Beat LA chant begins one more time. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Bream swings, sends a high fly ball deep to right field. Back goes Finley toward the wall. He's just shy of the wall and makes the catch. That one almost got out of here. So 2 men are out. Greg Olson, the batter. Olson has hit into a 5-4-3 double play and reached on a Cedeno error. He is batting for Betsy Tate, who lives on Augusta Court in Greenville, South Carolina. Listens to us in WSPA in Spartanburg. Olson 0 for 2. 2 outs, base is empty. Chris Gardner, 3rd pitcher to work for Houston. Into the windup, the pitch to Olson. He swings and lines one to right. Right at Finley, though. He's got it, and the inning's over. Some hard hit balls in the inning, including one big one. A home run for Ronnie Gant worth $1,700 to Millie Murphy of Doraville. We have completed 5 in Atlanta with our score now. The Braves 5, Houston 2. The 6th inning. Let's pause for station identification on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
If it's important, you know you'll hear it first from the AM 750 WSB News Weather and Traffic Team and Atlanta's Morning News. AM 750 WSB, Atlanta's news, weather, and traffic station. Depend on it.
5-2 Atlanta. We move to the 6th. Jeff Bagwell, Luis Gonzalez, Ken Caminiti do up against John Smoltz. Bagwell 1 for 2. He's popped out to first and singled. right-hand hitter with the open stance awaits the first pitch from John Smoltz. And it's taken for a strike in the outside corner, 0-1. John Smoltz trying to win his 12th game since the All-Star break. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and it's high. Fastball missing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the wind and the 1-1 on the way. Low, ball 2, 2-1. Olson gives the sign. The wind by Smoltz. The 2-1 pitch on the way. Bounced foul. Went after a high fastball. 2-2. The crowd anticipating a Braves victory, and it's getting antsier and antsier as the game goes along. Next pitch to Bagwell hits foul again down the third base side. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
They're getting antsy in the Dodger dugout as well. Trevor Wilson at last report pitching a 1-hitter.
That game now in the top half of the 6th inning. At Candlestick Park, Giants out in front 1-0. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Bagwell takes a slider low and outside. Full count, 3-2. Dodgers did not score in the top of the 6th. It is still 1-0 Giants after 5.5. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way to Bagwell. High pop fly, shallow left center field. Belliard back. Lonnie Smith coming in. Lonnie's making the call. And he's got it for the out, 1 away. Smoltz continues to get a lot of fly balls for his outs. Of the 16 outs in the game have been either on infield pops or fly balls to the outfield. Here's Luis Gonzalez, who is singled and fly to right. Here's the wind by Smoltz and the pitch. Ground ball, 2 hops to first. Bream's got it. He runs to the bag and plenty of time. 2 down. Now Ken Caminiti is 0 for 2. He has grounded out to second and he has struck out. Of all the Houston players, a year like this must be a little extra tough on a guy like Ken Caminiti. After playing with teams loaded with veterans for a couple of years in the major leagues, now he is the veteran on this Houston team. First pitch taken low for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. The wind by Smoltz and the 1-0 pitch coming. Breaking ball inside. 2-0. 2 men out. Bases empty. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Braves up 5-2. They're in the bottom of the 6th at Candlestick. Giants up 1-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Taken for a strike. Outside corner fastball. Big game in college football. 7.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Syracuse 14, Florida State 14. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball slowly out towards short. Belliard to his right has it. Long throw across to first in time. 1, 2, 3 go the Astros in the 6th. We have played 5.5 in Atlanta, and our score remains the Braves 5 and the Astros 2. We go to the bottom half of inning 6. Braves up 5-2. Rafael Belliard, John Smoltz, in the top of the order, Lonnie Smith, up against Chris Gardner. And Rafael Belliard will start it here. Belliard is singled and flied out to right. No activity in either bullpen at the moment. Smoltz moves to the on-deck circle. The man that has been given a lot of credit for helping John Smoltz turn things around in the second half, sports psychologist Jack Llewellyn, seated in the front row right behind home plate, wearing a bright red shirt so John can spot him easily. And the first pitch on the way to Rafael Belliard. High, ball 1. Belliard now at .251 for the year. And a 1-0 pitch on the way. It's popped foul on the play right side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the wind, the 1-1 pitch. High and outside, 2-1. Giants are starting to put another threat together in their half of the 6th inning. Willie McGee's at second, Will Clark at first. Matt Williams at the plate. Fly ball to right field by Belliard. Out toward the corner to make the catch goes Finley. 1 down, and John Smoltz will be the batter. The one thing about this pennant race this year, the Braves moving into first place, undisputed first place, with the victory in the Dodger loss last night. Braves have only spent 14 days this season in first place all by themselves. The Dodgers have been in first place all by themselves 134 days of this season. But there's only one day that counts. And that's the last one. And the Braves could ice that today if they stay where they are and if the Giants stay where they are. Pitch to Smoltz, hit off the end of the bat, and 3 hops to second. Fielded by Candell on the first in time. 2 down. And we'll go back to the top of the order now. Lonnie Smith, who has singled, doubled, and grounded to third. His double drove in a run in the second.
A bloop single by Matt Williams has scored Willie McGee from second base. It's 2-0 Giants.
And that inning still going on with only 1 out. We've got a monitor on that Giants game. We're listening in one ear to the Giants and the Dodgers and trying to give you this one. And we'll keep doing it all afternoon long until we have those final scores. Here's Lonnie, 2 for 3. The wind by Gardner, and the pitch on the way to Lonnie Smith. It's high for a ball. 2 men out, bases empty, bottom half of the 6th. 5-2 Atlanta. Here's the next pitch, swung on and missed. 1-1 the count now on Lonnie. Here's the Beat L.A. chant reverberating around the ballpark.
And the fans at Candlestick Park now doing a tomahawk rain dance on top of the Dodger dugout.
Next pitch is high and outside, 2-1. Two outs, bases empty. We're in the bottom half of inning 6. Here's the wind by Gardner. And the 2-1 pitch on the way. Strike in the outside corner. 2-2 now to Lonnie Smith. The next pitch to Lonnie, swing and a miss at a breaking ball, strike 3. So Chris Gardner records his first strikeout. The Braves go 1-2-3 in their half of the 6th inning. We have completed 6 in Atlanta with our score. The Braves 5, Houston 2. We move along to the 7th inning. Keith Mitchell has taken over as the new left fielder for Atlanta. The lower third of the order due up for the Astros. Cedeno, Candell, and in all likelihood a pinch hitter for Gardner. And we have activity now in the Houston bullpen. That's Rob Malakoff, the lefty, throwing. And John Smoltz ready to go to work here in the 7th. Andujar Cedeno, who is 2 for 2 in the game. A single, a double. He has driven in 1. He has scored 1. He has also made 2 more errors, and he has made 5 errors in the 2 games in this series. Braves bullpen is up. Right-hander Jim Clancy, left-hander Mike Stanton throwing. Smoltz ready to go to work. The first pitch on the way to Cedeno, and it's taken inside. Ball 1. Smoltz, seeking his 14th win of the year, delivers the 1-0 pitch, and there's a high pop fly right side of the infield. Lemke's going to wait for this one a while. It's still coming down. He's got it.
Great news from Candlestick Park. Robbie Thompson, a sacrifice fly to left. A play at the plate. Will Clark scores. The ball pops away from Gary Carter. Giants 4, Dodgers nothing.
And the crowd beginning to sense what kind of a day this could be for Atlanta. Here's Casey Candell. The wind by Smoltz. The pitch to Candell is high for a ball. You have to go all the way back to the 31st of July before you find a day where John Smoltz went out and pitched and gave up more than 3 runs in a game. He's been phenomenal. 1-0 pitch, low and inside, ball 2. 2-0 on Candell. Braves leading it 5-2. We're in the 7th inning. Giants leading the Dodgers 4-0. They're in the bottom half of the sixth and still batting at Candlestick. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way to Casey Candell. There's a strike fastball in the inside corner. They have now completed 6 innings at Candlestick Park, and it's 4-0 Giants over the Dodgers. Their game is caught up with ours. They're going to the top of the 7th. One man out. Base is empty. A 2-1 count on Casey Candell. Here's the wind by Smoltz. And the 2-1 pitch coming. High with a fastball. 3-1. Javier Ortiz has moved out on deck. He will bat for Chris Gardner. There's a ground ball by Candell. Hit to first. Bream's got it. Takes it to the bag himself. That's out number 2. Wait till you hear the noise when they put the, well, you won't be able to. We'll probably be away in commercial break when they put that score up on the scoreboard between innings. The score out at Candlestick. Javier Ortiz, the batter. Pinch hitting for Chris Gardner. Hitting .269. He has a homer and 5 RBIs. He's 5 for 20 as a pinch hitter.
The line on Gardner. 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 run at turn.
Since giving up the base hit to Kenny Lofton, the bunt single back in the 5th, and he picked him off. 7 straight retired by Smoltz. The right-hander winds. The pitch on the way to Ortiz. Low and outside, ball 1. Almost everybody knew it was going to come down to the final week, and a lot of people thought it was going to come down to the final day. May not quite make it that far. Swing and a miss at a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike on Javier Ortiz. Two men out, base is empty. Smoltz into the windup. And the 1-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed with the slider. It's 1-2 now in Ortiz. The right-hand batter steps back in. Smoltz gets a sign from Olson. Here's the wide. And the 1-2 pitch on the way. High with a fastball. 2-2. Now a 2-2 pitch on the way to Ortiz. Ground ball out to short. 2 hops to Belliard. He's got it. Guns it over to first in time for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for John Smoltz. 7th inning stretch time, and the party's getting ready to get going here in Atlanta. At the end of 6.5, it's Atlanta 5, Houston 2. Pitcher of the afternoon for the Astros, left-hander Rob Malakote, replacing Chris Gardner. Gardner worked 3 innings, allowed a run, a hit. That was a home run by Ronnie Gant. He struck out 1. Malakote making his 24th appearance. He's 0-2, 1 save, and a 4.22 earned run average. 21 innings, 22 hits, 2 homers, 12 walks, 16 strikeouts. Look at these fans, all of them standing, all of them chanting as the bottom half of the 7th inning is about to begin.
2 outs in the 7th inning at Candlestick. Cal Daniels struck out looking, nobody on, 2 out.
Mark Lemke will lead off the 7th. He's 1 for 3. A remarkable scene here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Close to 50,000 on their feet, waving their tomahawks, chanting. First pitch to Lemke popped up, foul territory. First base side. Bagwell is there. He's got it, 1 out. And the chanting will go on long into the night. If everything stays as it is, the Dodgers fail to score in the top of the 7th. They go to the bottom half of the 7th at Candlestick Park. It's the Giants 4 and the Dodgers nothing after 6.5. Here it's 5-2 Atlanta. We're in the bottom half of the 7th with 1 out for Terry Pendleton. He has singled, he has walked, he has grounded to short. His single drove in his 86th run of the year. Back in the 1st inning, he takes inside, ball 1. Listen to the MVP chant. Beginning now. First time we've heard that all year. 2-0, the count on Pendleton. Here's the 2-0 pitch, high and outside, ball 3-0. Here's the 3-0 pitch on the inside corner for a call, strike 3-1. Mark Portugal started the game. Braves scored 4 runs, 3 of them earned, got 7 hits off him in 2+ innings. Then Henry, then Gardner, now Malakote. 1 out. The 3-1 pitch on the way. High and inside, ball 4. First walk issued by Malakote. Second time Pendleton's walked today, and now David Justice. He's 0 for 3. He reached on Cedeno's error in the first. He grounded out to first in the second. He flied to left in the 5th. One man out, bottom half of the 7th inning. 50,000 Tomahawks are out and rolling around this ballpark right now. Here's the look toward first by Malakote. And the pitch on the way. It's high for a ball. Ronnie Gant on deck. Braves got the lead early with 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Houston cut it in half with 2 in the fourth, but Atlanta picked up another run on the Gant home run in the 5th inning. It's still 5-2. The pitch to Justice. High pop foul, third base side. Caminiti coming over toward the Astro dugout, still coming, and runs out of room, and over the railing he goes. Count goes to 1-1 on Justice. Five runs, 8 hits for the Braves, 2, 7, and 2 for the Astros. Terry Pendleton, the runner at first with 1 out. And a count of 1 ball, 1 strike on David Justice. Here's the stretch. And the 1-1 pitch to Justice. High fly ball, right center field. It's fairly deep. Kenny Lofton says he's got a play in it. He does, just shy of the track in right center. Tagging at first, Pendleton hustling down to second to throw there. He's safe. Good hustle there by Terry Pendleton. Even up 5-2. He was able to get himself into scoring position. On a fly ball to right center field, caught by Lofton. Before Gant hits, we'll pause for station identification on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
AM 750 WSB, Atlanta's most reliable radio station. We continuously update the top news stories and break in whenever news breaks out. Atlanta's morning news on AM 750 WSB. Depend on it.
Here's Ronnie Gant. Perfect afternoon for Ronnie. 2 for 2, a sac fly, a single, and a home run. He has driven in 2 more runs, giving him a season total of 105. Malakote's pitch to him. Breaking ball strike in the inside corner, 0-1. Pendleton down at second, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. Again, the stretch by Malakote. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Gant. Ground ball sharply to short, fielded by Cedeno. Long throw across to first. It is just in time to get Ronnie Gant for out number 3. So that's all for Atlanta in the 7th. No runs or hits, a walk and 1 left. We've completed 7 at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. It's Atlanta 5, Houston 2. We've completed 7 innings here in Atlanta. The Braves 5, Houston 2. They've just completed the 7th inning at Candlestick Park. It's the Giants 4 and the Dodgers nothing. Both games going to the top half of the 8th inning at the same time. And we go to the 8th. Here's Chip Caray.
Okay, Pete, thanks a lot. In case you wondered, Mike Morgan has 9 strikeouts through 7 innings at Candlestick Park, but he trails it 4-0. Los Angeles has only 1 hit against Trevor Wilson. LA has committed 2 errors. The Dodgers had been in first place 134 days this year. The Braves only 14. But as Pete mentioned earlier, it's only one day that counts. And perhaps this day could be that day. The Braves have 6 outs to get. Here's Lofton. 1 for 3 with a strikeout. John Smoltz into the wind to pitch. Fastball high, 1 ball, no strikes. The Braves bidding for their 94th win and a clinch, perhaps, of the National League West. The 1-0. Upstairs again, 2-0. Olson a few steps in front of the plate to settle down his young right-hander. The Braves bullpen gets busy. Hopefully they won't be needed. The top of the Astro order here in the 8th inning. Olson, the sign, sets up outside the pitch. He came inside with a fastball. Got it through there, however, 2-1. Lofton playing in only his second year of pro baseball. Had a great year at AAA. Hit .308. It's been tougher in the big leagues, however. The 2-1. Missed same spot. 3 balls and a strike to the Astro leadoff hitter, Kenny Lofton. The Braves in line to clinch a tie. They'll have to wait a few minutes to see what the Giants and Dodgers do. We hope. The 3-1. Strike right through there, 3-2. 5-2 Atlanta. We are in the 8th. Olson again the sign. The right-hander wheels and deals. Chop towards second. Lemke backs up on a big hop. Gloves, guns, 1 out. Outs to get. Here's Finley. Finley 1 for 3. He's flied to center. He has singled. He has flied to left. 1 man out in the Astro 8th inning. The pitch. Fastball, strike, 0-1. A sellout crowd again here in Atlanta. The 0-1 pitch from Smoltz on the way. Breaking ball. He bunted or tried to bunt. They'll appeal to third. They say he drew the bat back in time. Crowd boos. The count evens 1-1. This crowd has made its most noise when the Braves have scored, of course, but were even louder when the Giant Dodger score was posted. And now they're just sort of sitting back with expectation, waiting for this thing to finish up. The 1-1. High pop toward left. Long run Keith Mitchell. Long run Belliard. Long run Pendleton. Can anybody catch up? No, they can't. It's behind the Astro bullpen and into the crowd. And the count now, 1 ball, 2 strikes to see Finley.
Gary Carter just grounded out to third to open up the 8th inning for the Dodgers. 1 out, nobody on.
Kind of makes you feel like Santa Claus when you get to deliver those kind of good news pieces. I know Christmas is still a few weeks and months away, but what great news that could be if the Dodgers could fall to the Giants. Roger Craig said earlier in the year to Bobby Cox, you just keep winning, we'll take care of the Dodgers, and so far his troops have backed him up. The 1-2. High pop, a mile high on the infield. Pendleton is there. That should be easy. In the shade, hauls it in, 2 out. 4 outs to go. Four outs between the Braves and a share of the National League Western Championship. Here's Craig Biggio. He's got an 0 for 3 afternoon going. He's popped to first, grounded to short, and fly to right. A right-hand hitting catcher. John Smoltz kicks and fires. Line drive toward right. Justice coming on. He's there. 3 outs to go in Atlanta. The Astros go down. 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. We move to the bottom half. Braves 5, Houston 2. Welcome back to Atlanta, where the SWAT team is making its move here on the field. They've added some extra security just in case some fans try to jump out on the field in celebration perhaps of the Braves winning the West. Trevor Wilson has set down 15 straight Dodgers at Candlestick Park. They have 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning.
The Dodgers just went down 1-2-3 in the top half of the 8th inning. They go to the bottom of the 8th at Candlestick. It is still 4-0 Giants.
So 3 outs to go at Candlestick Park. 3 outs to go here in Atlanta. We move to the bottom of the 8th inning. Bream, Olson, and Belliard against left-hander Rob Malakote. A sellout crowd, everyone standing at the ballpark in Atlanta. What a moment. What an afternoon this has been. The best possible combination of things to happen is perhaps happening. The Braves had an opportunity today to clinch with a win and a Dodger loss. And at this moment, that is what is happening. The security troops are lining the entire field, and Charlie Williams, the home plate umpire, has moved them away from directly behind home plate. The Tomahawks are chopping. The war chant is whooping. And the Braves this afternoon are winning. 3 outs to go. The Braves would like a little insurance here. Sid Bream will be the hitter. Sid 1 for 2 with a walk. Malacote winds, deals. Fastball outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
44,994. 44,994.
The left-hander winds and deals. Fastball popped back this way. And just below our booth, the count evens 1-1. 44,994 at the ballpark in Atlanta today. The 1-1 pitch to Bream. Little pop left side. Caminiti in foul territory. Over near the Astro dugout, makes the catch for out number 1 in the 8th. 1 out for the Braves in the 8th inning, and Greg Olson, the hitter. Greg Olson is 0 for 3. He hit into a double play in the first inning, reached on an error in the third, and fly to right to end the 5th.
A crowd of about 40,000 at Candlestick Park are standing in the bottom half of the 8th inning doing the Tomahawk chop as the Giants come to the plate.
Is that right? Wow.
All of them.
Olson behind on a swing and a miss, 0-1. Malacote working quickly the pitch. Breaking ball, chopped foul past third. Olson lost his batting helmet on that swing. He's behind 0-2. In the Houston 9th inning, they'll send the heart of their order, Bagwell, Gonzalez, and Caminiti against John Smoltz. Braves 5, Astros 2, Giants 4, Dodgers nothing. The 0-2 to Olson. Upstairs and away, it's 1-2. Deion Sanders, the Braves' good luck charm, if you will, on the bench, along with all the youngsters on this team. The pitch. Breaking ball, swing, foul tipped into the glove of Biggio. Olson retired on strikes. That's the first strikeout for Malacote. 2 down in the 8th inning. And Rafael Belliard, the hitter. Belliard 1 for 3. He singled, scored a run in the second since he's flied to right twice. If the Braves advance, the National League Championship Series begins Wednesday night in Pittsburgh. Rob Malacote into the line. The pitch to Belliard is upstairs, 1-0. Swing and a miss. Didn't get it. Count evens, 1-1. The chant says it all in Atlanta today. The 1-1. Chop foul at the plate, 1-2. It has been a wonderful year. No question about it. And without these fans, who knows what this Braves team would have done this year. No doubt in my mind. The 1-2. Breaking ball missed outside. It's 2-2. And all the stuff about the Tomahawk chop, that's not some marketing person's idea. That was a fan's idea. And it spread like wildfire throughout the Southeast and the nation. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. But the Braves have 3 outs to get. We have played 8 innings in Atlanta. You hear the roar from the sellout crowd. They smell blood. We go to the 9th. Braves 5, Astros 2. It's been 9 long years in Atlanta since the Braves have won the National League West. 3 outs stand between them. 3 outs stand between the Dodgers and Giants. And the Braves could become the champions of the National League West. It's been a long time. 9 years as well for Pete Van Wieren. You've been in the booth a long time waiting for the Braves to come through and win the West. This is your moment, partner. Take it away for the 9th inning.
Oh, thank you very much, Chip. Jeff Bagwell, Luis Gonzalez, Ken Caminiti. Due up here in the 9th. 44,994 fans on their feet. Bagwell, 1 for 3. to face John Smoltz. And the first pitch in the 9th inning to Bagwell. Inside, ball 1. They go to the top half of the 9th inning at Candlestick Park. It's 4-0 Giants. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Bagwell. Line drive, base hit to left center field over a leaping Rafael Belliard's glove. And Bagwell aboard with a leadoff single in the 9th. Alejandro Pena and Mike Stanton are up in the Braves bullpen. The war chant echoing around Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Luis Gonzalez, the batter. He's 1 for 3. A single back in the 2nd. Nobody out. Bagwell at first. That was the 8th hit off John Smoltz, who stretches. They're not holding Bagwell. The pitch on the way to Gonzalez. He swings and fouls one back off the screen. 0-1.
Trevor Wilson has set down 16 men in a row. The top of the Dodger order is in there. Brett Butler behind in the count, 0-1.
Luis Gonzalez behind in the count, 0-1. Nobody out. Bagwell at first. Here's the stretch and the pitch on the way. Bouncing ball back to the mound. Smoltz to second. Belliard got it for 1. That's all. Belliard had to go off the bag to get the throw from Smoltz. He came down in the bag for the force play, the 1-6 force play. Gonzalez, the runner at first now with 1 out.
Brett Butler is struck out swinging. 1 out in the 9th.
So there's 1 out in the top of the 9th for the Dodgers. There's 1 out in the top of the 9th for the Astros. Ken Caminiti, the hitter, he's 0 for 3. He has grounded out to second. He has struck out. And he has grounded out to short. Everybody on their feet. The tomahawk chop all around the ballpark. The chant all around the ballpark. The pitch to Caminiti, swung on and missed, strike 1. One out in the top of the 9th, 5-2 Atlanta. Gonzalez getting his lead. They're not holding him. The look over by Smoltz and the 0-1 pitch. Line drive down the right field line, foul. Fielded by Alejandro Pena. Warming up down in the bullpen. It's 0-2 now on Caminiti. The on-deck hitter is Andujar Cedeno. Here's the stretch by Smoltz. And the 0-2 pitch. Hit back up the middle off Smoltz. Dribbling toward Belliard. He's got it. Throws to first. In time. 2 men out. The ball deflecting off the glove of John Smoltz. Belliard charging. Came up with it in front of the bag at second. And threw on to first for out number 2. The last hope for the Houston Astros is Andujar Cedeno. They're in the top of the 9th at Candlestick Park, where the Giants lead the Dodgers 4-0 with 1 out. Here's the stretch by Smoltz. The pitch on the way to Cedeno. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Cedeno 2 for 3. Gonzalez, the runner at second, 2 outs. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Just outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Mike Sharperson has doubled for the Dodgers. In the top of the 9th with 1 out, Darryl Strawberry now batting. Here's the stretch by Smoltz. The 1-1 cut out and missed, strike 2. Listen to this crowd. One ball, 2 strikes. The stretch by Smoltz, the pitch to Cedeno. High fly ball, right field. It's fairly deep. Back goes Justice. He's got it.
And the magic number for Atlanta is down to 1. The Braves have clinched a tie for first. Darryl Strawberry just struck out. We're going to stay right here until we get a final result. A scene that the Braves have waited 9 long years is taking place out in front of home plate as John Smoltz has beaten the Houston Astros by a final score of 5-2. Everybody in a Braves uniform surrounding John Smoltz on the mound. The Braves have clinched a tie, just awaiting one more out from Candlestick. It's 0-1 on Eddie Murray. There are 2 outs. Sharperson is at second base. The Braves have won here, 5-2. Trevor Wilson pitching a 2-hitter. Has to get one more out at Candlestick, and the Braves will be heading for Pittsburgh.
Not only swings and misses, loses his bat.
Everybody in the ballpark on their feet saluting this team that went from worst to first. It's 0-2 on Eddie Murray. One more out, one more strike, and the Braves are on their way to Pittsburgh. Everybody watching the scoreboard now, which has the Giants-Dodgers game on. It's 1-2 now on Eddie Murray. Braves players being interviewed en masse between the mound and first base.
They have not been heard from again.
A lot of players still standing out on the field.
Eddie Murray, Wilson,
The clubhouse celebration will wait until that Giant-Dodger game ends. One more strike, one more out, and the Braves are in the NCLS.
6,740 ecstatic fans. Meanwhile, the telecast of this Giant-Dodger game is being shown on the Diamond Vision screen in Atlanta's Fulton
All
County
the players
Stadium.
for Atlanta now watching the Diamond Vision screen in left center field. And the count goes to 1-2 on Eddie Murray. The celebration won't begin until it's official. And it becomes official after one more out is recorded at Candlestick Park.
The rewards to the players when they are watching Murray's at bat on the Diamond Vision screen. 1-2 to Caray. He is 0 for 3 today. He is 4 for 7 in the series. He has hit one ball out of the infield in 2 games. Wilson delivers a bouncer over the mound. Thompson at the bag will throw him out.
The Braves are the National League West champions. The San Francisco Giants have just beaten the Los Angeles Dodgers 4-0. Let the celebration begin, Atlanta.
going to go on for a while. We'll be right back after this.
Georgia Marble.